common disinfectant used for water treatment in humanitarian settings is chlorine. The amount of chlorine needed for disinfection will depend on the type and concentration of the chlorine, as well as various characteristics of the water being treated. These characteristics include turbidity, temperature, pH, and presence of organic and inorganic materials, metals, and other compounds. These topics are not covered in this video. This video covers monitoring of free chlorine residual. The presence of free chlorine after treatment suggests that sufficient chlorine was initially added to inactivate bacteria and some viruses that can cause diarrheal disease, and that the water is protected from recontamination, which can occur during the collection, transport, and storage of treated water. Free chlorine is reported in milligrams per liter or parts per million, and typically ranges from 0.2 to 2.0, above which the taste may be considered unpalatable. UNHCR recommends a target of 0.5 milligrams per liter during normal refugee operations and a target of 1.0 milligrams per liter during disease outbreaks. Measuring FRC in the field is inexpensive and easy. The two most common methods are the static pool tester and color wheel. Both are colorimetric tests whereby a reagent is added to sample water to cause a color change. The most common reagent is DPD, which results in a pink to red color change. Each test kit will come with a reagent in tablet or powder form. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's instructions and use the appropriate reagent, as test methods may vary slightly and not all reagents are compatible.
Okay, so I'm going to show you, we have two different types of chlorometers, manual colorimeters, one of which is a square static, no movement, and then you have another one which is has a color wheel that you turn to identify the colors. Both have two different compartments, and the reason being for those two different compartments is to be able to compare it, or to control for the turbidity in the water. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get a sample of our water that we want to test. It's the important thing is to make sure that when you collect the sample that you carry out the test within a short period of time after collecting the sample, because chlorine does volatilize quickly. So first thing we do is we fill up and rinse out our containers. So this one. Second one. With the color wheel, we want to make sure that for the container that we have the appropriate amount of water, it's 10 milliliters.
One sample vial is placed on the outer side of the color wheel, and to the second vial we add DPD, which may come in powder or pill form. Only use the DPD provided by the device manufacturer and make sure it is for measuring free chlorine and not total chlorine.
You can see already it's changing color to red. And the darker the color, the higher the concentration. And you can see that it's a bit darker than the 0.5 milligrams per liter. So if we go up to the 1.0, it's quite close to that, maybe possibly even somewhere in between the 1.0 and the 1.5. But the idea is you turn the wheel, reading the number here, and you match the color and then read the number. So in this case, it's somewhere between 1.0 and 1.5 according to the color wheel. So then we can compare that to our static. So that's been filled up to the top.
A similar process is followed, whereby DPD is added to the sample is agitated until the DPD dissolves, resulting in a color change related to the concentration of free chlorine in the sample.
So for this one, we're looking here at the chlorine measurements. So the phenol red has been placed in this chamber here. and then we have the other. These are the two that are used to match up the color. So you're matching up the color in the center column with the corresponding color on either the left here or the right, with the increasing concentrations. So from 0 up to 6 milligrams per liter for chlorine.